What are switch expressions in Java? You'll hear this kind of question in Java interviews in near future. You must not confuse them with switch statements that we know from the previous versions of Java or from languages like C or C++. Switch expressions were added as a preview feature in Java 12, and they have been added in Java 14 as a full-fledged feature. Remember one thing, when a feature is in preview, it is not recommended to use that in production code. Like in Java 14, there are some preview features, records, text blocks, pattern matching, for instance, of. You can check all these in my other videos on my channel. So let's go through switch statement first. So we all must have written switch statements in our code. So let me write a simple switch statement and then we can talk about the limitations that it had and why Java 14 introduced switch expressions. So let me go to my Java workspace. Yeah, you can see that this is my switch statement. I have one method, print quarter, and I'm calling that method from my main method in my class. So this is an example of switch statement where we are checking which month falls under which quarter of the year. For example, January in first quarter or April is in second quarter, and so on. So we all know that when we call switch statement, JVM runs the code inside the corresponding case. For example, if March is passed, then only this would be executed. If you have written switch statements earlier, you may see that in my code there is one problem. Java Switch has fall through semantics, which means it will match the month name with the case, and if it doesn't encounter break, it will carry on to the next case and print corresponding statements also. For example, if I pass March, then it will match here. Okay, I don't have break here, so it will go through again every case, and wherever it encounters the statements, it will keep on executing until it reaches default. This would also be executed by JVM. So let me run this and show you this. So I've passed March here. You can see that it first printed Q1, then Q2, then invalid month name. So this is called fall through. So what I can do is I have to provide break here, then here. So now if I run this, I should get only Q1. We can say that this is accidental fall through. If you forget to provide break here, you'll see some bugs in your code. At the same time, we cannot ignore the fact that multiple break statements here make the code verbose, and missing one of them may lead to problems. We have covered the first issue, which is accidental fall through. The second is variable scoping. So if you define a variable inside one of the case, that would be visible in all the cases. And it is not specific to the same block, which ideally should have been the case. For example, if I add here, so if I add int I equals to 10 here, I can use I here also. Okay, so this is another issue with the switch statement. A variable should have scope limited to that case only. So the third issue with switch statement is no return value. So let's say I want to return quarter values from these case statements. Then we have to initialize one empty variable and we have to do assignments in different cases. Now, instead of printing quarter name here, I'm printing here where I'm calling print quarter method. So print quarter should return me a string value that should be Q1 or Q2. Okay. So I'm running this with March, so it should print Q1. So let me run this. Yeah, you can see this is printing Q1. Okay. Let's see how we can solve these problems with switch expressions. Please keep in mind that switch expressions are not replacement of switch statements. They will continue to be in Java because of Java's backward compatibility. So there are five things that you should be aware about new switch expressions. First is no fall through, then combined constants, then expressions, then return values, and then block scope, and a new keyword which is yield. Let's go to Java Workspace to try all these. So let's convert this existing code from switch statements to enhanced switch. Okay, what we have to do is instead of this colon, we have to use arrow symbol, the same symbol that we use in lambda functions in Java 8. And at the same time, we know that we can combine our constants. You can see this. So what I can do is now break we have to remove. So similarly, you can do this for April, May, June. Yeah, so this is it. For default also, you need to provide arrow symbol. So this is the fix with the new switch. You can combine your constants and you need to replace comma with this arrow. So you can see that with switch you combine multiple constants per case. In our case, January, February, March, and you use a statement or a block on the right of this arrow symbol. There's no fall through in this. So these arrow symbols make sure that if the case matches with the constants, then only it will be executed. So it will not execute rest of the code if case doesn't matches. Okay, it will go directly to default and check if we have given anything or not. So let's run this again. Okay, let's see our result matches or not. Okay, yeah. For now we have seen two advantages. No fall through by using arrow symbol, and second is combined constants. Now let's look at the expressions. Let's say that you want to get the quarter name. You can use switch as an expression also. Let me show you how. Let's say that you're getting month name from one of the API, and you have written one method get month name, which is returning you the month name. So you can use that variable inside the switch arguments. Now we are using switch as an expression, so we must use semicolon here. Now since I'm using switch as an expression here, I must return some value. Okay, so I need to remove this. And in default also we're not returning anything. We are just printing the value. We can return like this, a string value. We have used switch as an expression here, and let's run this code and we should get Q1. Yeah, you can see that the Q name with new switch is Q1. Next feature is block scope and yield. We have already covered no fall through, combined constants, expressions, and return value because we're returning some value when we're using here. So I told you on the right side of arrow, you can either use a statement or you can use a block. So how can you do that? So this is a block in new switch. Hey, you can give multiple statements inside this block. For example, you need to print something first, okay, and then you have to perform some operation. So let's say you have to perform some business logic also here. So in this way you can do this in block. Now we are getting error here because QNAME is expecting some return value from here. So if I try to delete this, so I'll get an error in here in case. You can see that it is saying switch expression rule should produce result in all execution paths because we are using switch as an expression mode. So we have to return some value here, but how can we return the value? So there's one new keyword introduced with the switch, which is yield. What you can do is you can call yield Q1. Now there isn't any error here. You can see if I run this and I'm passing March here, so first it should print this value and next QName is Q1. Let's run this. Yeah, you can see first it is printed and then QName. Now you must be wondering why yield? Why not return? Okay, so consider the scenario where you are using switch expression inside a method. So it can be really confusing to use return value inside switch because there would be ambiguity whether the return is for method or it is for the switch. Okay, so that's why they introduced a new keyword, yield. Yield is a new restricted identifier which would definitely be asked in future Java interviews. So keep in mind that just like where keyword, which was introduced in Java 10, yield is also restricted and cannot be used as a class name or unary method name. So I hope you know that there's also one method, thread.yield. So you can check that in my multi-threading videos on my YouTube channel. Now, let me show you one more thing. We know that this is a block here. You must remember that we discussed that there's some issue with the variable scope in switch statements. Let's see variable scoping in switch expressions. So let's say I create integer I equals to 10 here. So the scope of this I would be this block only. It cannot be used inside the next block. Okay, let me show you. If I try to use here, I'll get a compile time error. Okay, so this thing is also fixed in the new switch. Yeah, so this is it from the new features of switch. So you can try different examples of switch by mixing the old and new switch. So both will be compatible. Okay, you can use arrow symbols with switch even if we are not using switch expressions. So this arrow symbol helps to avoid fall through and remove the verbosity of break. All right, guys, this is it from Java 14 switch expressions. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned for more videos. Bye.